things that student pilots struggle with in the first few lessons and a few tips on how to solve it. First one, keeping constant airspeed and attitude. Secondly, keeping the collective in position. Third is airspeed and height management during a turn. And lastly, using the pedals to turn instead of the cyclic. So let's have a look at a few of these. First up, keeping a constant speed and attitude during level flight. This symmetry of lift is something that happens when changes in airspeed occurs. The blades on the advancing side, which in our case, flying a Robbie, they've got left or anti-clockwise turning blades. So our advancing blade is on the right. So the right side experiences faster relative airspeed, which creates more lift. So the blade on the right-hand side actually has maximum flap up. But because of something called gyroscopic precession, the effect of this only occurs like 90 degrees later, so basically in the front. So when the blades are flapping to equality, the blade at the front flaps up and the one at the back flaps down. So what we basically see in the cockpit is constant speed changes. And as you can see here, Dylan, one of our other instructors, is demonstrating what it looks like. So constant nose pitches down, nose pitches up, climbing, descending, speed all over the place. So that's at that point where we try and encourage students to, if you want to increase your speed, move the cyclic forward, wait roughly 2 or 3 seconds and then move it forward just a small amount again to prevent the flapback or just to resist the flapback from happening. The next one is keeping the collective in position. Now, the collective is a control that tends to lower on its own during flight. And it's something often missed by students as they don't have a reference point for where the collective should be, during a climb or a descent or even just level flight. So we kind of tell them to anchor their left thumb either on the seat or next to their leg and steady it, hold it there as a reference point. Then you can easily feel if the collective is lowering on its own, so you can fix the problem as it happens. Next one, airspeed and height management during a turn. Now, that dissymmetry of lift we spoke about earlier also comes into play during turns. So during left turns, flapback happens and the nose pitches up. Our airspeed decreases and our height increases. So you have to use a bit more forward cyclic and your collective has to be lowered slightly. So we almost say left, lower. So you lower your collective when going to the left, and then the opposite happens to the right. The nose pitches down, our airspeed increases, and our height also decreases. So with that, we use a bit more aft cyclic, and right, raise. To the right, you raise your collective a bit. But honestly, we find that if you just manage your airspeed nicely, you don't have to work on the collective too much. And then lastly, using the pedals to turn instead of cyclic, very common mistake. So let's say, for instance, the helicopter starts to drift to the right. Students sometimes try to fix this with left pedal. And all that happens is the helicopter goes out of balance and it actually starts rolling to the right, which can land us into trouble. It starts rolling to the right and we can start descending and end up in a spiral dive if we don't react and fix the problem. We kind of say to students, put the nose of the helicopter where you want it to be. So use the cyclic to put the nose in the direction of where you want the helicopter to be. And that is basically it. That's it. Check out some of my other videos, subscribe to the channel, and reach out to us if you ever want to learn how to fly a helicopter.